The time I fractured my wrist so badly that I had to get surgery. What's up guys, it's your boy JDRFT and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to try doing some story times. So today I'm going to present you with a story of how I broke my wrist, fractured 3 different areas, and had to get surgery on them. So I want you guys to picture a gloomy day in October of 2020. So during this time, I was in my senior year in high school, and I had a project I had to do. But this is a time when COVID was at its all-time peak. I'm talking about like there was cases left and right, and like school had their procedure where you'd go at certain times, and it was just really weird. But basically, at the time, I had a project I had to do, and during that time, I was dating a girl and I was in the same class as her. So I was planning on going to her house to do some schoolwork. But during this time, I was only 17, I didn't have a driver's license, and I didn't even want to ask for a ride because I didn't tell my parents that I had a girlfriend. And at that time, they did not want me to focus on having a relationship. They just wanted me to do school. So what I would do is I would get my bike and I would cycle for 30 minutes because I had to go through neighborhoods. I had to go through a small town, down a hill, up a hill, and a little bit through some more neighborhoods just so then I could get to her house. So I can't lie, I'm a little bit dumb here, okay? Basically, sometimes I like to ride with none of my hands. Like, okay, I don't know if you guys done that ever as a kid, where you would basically let go of the handlebars and you would just kind of balance yourself, and it would feel kind of nice. It's like you're just cruising down the street, not even controlling the bike, and you're letting the breeze kind of hit your face. Plus, it was kind of cool, you know? Yeah. So continuing on with the story with that context, basically I was about halfway through my ride. Okay, I was going through this small town, and I don't remember what happened, but I think I did the no hand thing, or I just wasn't paying attention, and for some reason, my bike did a full 180. Like the front just turned, shifted, and I slammed into the ground. I'm not even joking. Like I flew. I literally flew because the bike stopped. I flew forward, and to break my fall, I basically put my left hand forward just so that I could shield my body and my head from hitting the concrete too hard. And there I was, guys, in the middle of a small town, laying down on my stomach on the side because I just had the craziest fall, bro. I'm not even joking. Like, I was just laying on the ground for a couple of seconds, and I got up, and I'm like, bro, my head hurts so badly. And this one guy actually pulled up, and he was like, are you okay? It was like this man in his 40s, and he offered me a ride to the hospital because I looked like I was in a lot of pain. But I said, no, trust me, sir. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Thank you very much. You can go on your way. And he ended up leaving, and I took a couple of seconds to catch a breather. The bike was actually twisted. The wheel was like in a weird position because of the fall, but I managed to pick up the bike. But then I looked at my hand, and I was like, wait, why is my hand kind of weird? Like, it was almost like my wrist was kind of popping out. And I was like, maybe due to the fall, like, it was starting to bruise up, or it was starting to swell up. I don't know, but I couldn't really move it up and down too well. It was kind of locked. So I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm not even joking. The craziest part was I had to go through this really steep hill going up, but I managed to pull through with one hand. I'm just saying, that's a flex, guys. That's an actual flex. The amount of adrenaline I had was crazy. It was like almost pumping. I'm like, I have to get to this house so then I can get myself checked out. So I went up the hill and I sped through the neighborhood. And basically, once I got to her house, I just basically told her what happened. She took a look at it and she was like, it doesn't look too bad. Like, maybe it's just, dislocated. Like, you'll be fine. I was really not fine. But anywho, I ended up not doing the project at all, and the moment I got to her house, I just ended up calling my dad. I told him the situation on the phone, and he was a little bit mad, but honestly, fair enough. Like, he had every right to be honest. And so he picked me up, brought me to the hospital, and keep in mind that since this is during COVID, the wait time to even see a doctor was so long. I had to wait like 4 to 6 hours, but luckily, because I live in Canada, I get free healthcare, so that's cool and whatnot, but damn, that just took too long. I had to do an x-ray first, and they just scanned it. He basically said that you dislocated your wrist and that you have to put it back into place. And I was like, okay, well, that makes a lot more sense because my bone is literally popping out right now and I'm freaking out. So what they did was they offered me two options. It was either you do it the easy way or the hard way. And I was like, okay, what's the difference? The easy way was that they would put me to sleep, but it would take about an hour to do so, and then they would just put my hand back into place by, obviously stretching it. The hard way, though, was that they would inject 3 needles to numb my wrist, and then they would purposely grab my wrist, pull it outwards so that my bone could realign. And because I've been waiting there for about 4 to 5 hours already, I was like, hell nah, I want to get this done now. So I did the hard way, and surprisingly, it wasn't that bad. The doctor said I took it like a champ because most people pussy out and they do not take that option. So I felt pretty good afterwards. I then finished the whole process. They gave me a cast to just, have my hand rest somewhere. And they said to come back in a week so they could see how my wrist is doing. I come back after a week and they hit me with the most craziest bad news. They're like, so you have to get surgery now because since you fractured 3 different areas of your wrist, you have to get surgery now so we can place a metal rod to realign your bone. Brother, what? I can't lie, in that very moment, I felt so stupid because this was so easily preventable, but my dumbass just had to not pay attention and freaking slam into the ground. So he's like, yeah, you have to get surgery in about a week's time. Yeah, prepare. So I prepared, I go in, you do the procedure, you don't eat for about 12 hours or something like that. Give you an IV, they just hook you up, yada, yada, yada. Put a small syringe in me and boom, I was asleep. And when I woke up, I looked at my left hand and it was red. It was literally red. And I was like, what happened? Why does it look like a tomato? I don't know the reason why, but they had to put some type of gel on my hand or something like that to prevent infection. So it was just really puffy. Not to mention it was actually numb as well. So that was kind of weird. After a couple weeks, I took off my cast and I managed to take a couple of photos for you guys. So I'll show that to you. They even showed me the little metal piece that's in my wrist. Kind of looks like a small dingling in my wrist, but yeah. It took me a couple months of recovery. I had to get some physical therapy. And at some point, I was able to get a little bit more mobility in my wrist. And 4 years later, I am doing just fine. My wrist has fully healed. It looks a lot better. I have full mobility and it doesn't hurt. Now I'm just left with a funny story and a pretty decently sized scar on my wrist. But other than that, we're doing good. And that is basically how I fell off my bike, fractured my wrist, and had to get surgery for it. So this is going to be the end of the story. If you guys enjoyed videos like this, I will definitely post more story times. But without any further ado, hope y'all enjoyed. Love y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!